This is April the 24th, 2017, the day after Earth Day. And welcome to everybody that's on the call today. And thank y'all for the sharing that you've already done. On our call this morning with our upline, James Hatcher, people were sharing some things that they have or have done with Earth Day activities. You know, if you have a booth or if you have a little in-home meeting or whatever. And so I just like to recap those. And I think Melanie and Linda were on that call. If you guys want to pitch in with any details that I'm leaving out or don't remember, well, let me know. The first has to do with some little giveaways that you can either mail or give to someone at a meeting. One of them is that little circle that looks like the earth, and it has flower seeds inside. And I think you could order that one from Amazon. And also from Amazon, you can buy pencils that when you get through using them, if you plant them, they will grow like a tree. Those are two things that are, I don't think, very expensive, but they are little giveaways. Excuse me. Jackie, I think, on our call said that the kids really like to get those circles that look like a globe with the flowers inside, the flower seeds. They really like to have that. So I thought that was kind of cool for the kids. I thought the pencil idea was pretty neat myself.
I missed that one, Phyllis, when they were saying it this morning. What do you call them to look for them on Amazon? Those little seed circle things you're talking about.
I don't know, but I will see if I can locate them and put them on our call on an email. I'll
send back out. Just put in seeds or something.
Yep. We're going to be ready next year. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we've got some really good ideas for things we can do. Okay, so those are two giveaways, and then here are some things that they had actually done. I really like this one. We had a new lady on the call today named Lisa, and she said she takes a small trash can like you'd have in your bathroom, and on it, I think she uses a white one so you can see. On it, she draws skull and crossbones, you know, to stand for poison. And then she fills it up with all kinds of toxic cleaners that you could buy at the supermarket. And I can't remember. It seemed like there was one more thing she does with that. But anyway, that's a very visual display to have if you have a table where you're promoting your products. Can't remember if she did anything else.
I thought it was just when she was talking with them about Shaklee didn't have any of that in there.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
And no crossing bones on them, of course, because none of our things are harmful.
That's right. Yep. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Well, there's a big list out there somewhere of those things that are toxic that we don't use.
We don't use, yep. And then Jackie from Ohio had been showing us parts of a toxic ingredient game that she had where you have a picture of the product and on the back side it has the toxic ingredients listed. And I can't remember, I'm not sure there's a game you could play, but she says it's still available to get. So I thought that sounded good.
Wow.
And there was one more, the one that had where it asks you a question. Oh, I thought this one was really good. You know the little facts, if you have a basic H flyer or if you look online, it talks about it where it says how many bottles.
Yeah, right.
Index this for replace so forth. So she has those little questions there. When you flip it up, the answer is basic H. And then she has 2 or 3 of those in a row. And at the end, I think she had the basic H bottle and the spray bottle that goes with it, you know. And so that was a real good.
Well, there's that picture out there with a mountain of empty bottles.
Yeah.
Is that the one we're talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
That's really something, yeah.
Yeah. So these were some different kind of ideas that I hadn't heard before that I thought that were helpful and that might be useful if you're trying to plan an activity. But yeah, you don't have to wait for Earth Day. If you have a little get together, that could be a good opener. Or it could be something you could do in the middle of your program if you're looking for something to talk about the products. And of course, we've always got stories. If anybody's been using Shaklee for very long, we have stories. We're telling one about making up. I think she had a bottle, a little squirt bottle actually, that she put some Nature Bright and some. I think it was
the laundry
detergent. Yeah, the powder. Yeah, and some water. And she used it to clean Sharpie off her counter I guess she'd been using a Sharpie for some craft project, and the Sharpie came right off the counter. And
no, I'm sorry. That I thought you were talking about the bottle for the neck cleaners. You know, that was the oil
scour off, wasn't it? Yeah.
Scour off. If you just put your finger on it, she said, and get a little oil, it takes off marks a lot.
Yeah, she said when you draw on that Sharpie on your counter in your demonstration, and people see that, they go, oh, you know, because you know how hard that stuff is to come off. But she says it'll come off the counter, it'll come off your fingers, and she has a guy that's a mechanic that uses the scour off on his hands to clean his hands up, you know, after the work. And I guess he was so happy with it, he bought three containers of it. So I thought that was pretty good. So I really like to have meetings where we share ideas, because it helps other people get some ideas, and we can all contribute and help each other. And I thought those were some nice things. You know, having a booth at a show, excuse me, just a minute.
From the past, have you heard about Basic H removing gum out of hair or carpet?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
We had somebody lived across from a street from a school. Somebody gets gum in their hair. My mama knows how to get rid of that.
That's a good thing. Without having to cut it all out, huh?
Yep.
Also, do you remember what she had to say about the cigarettes? That study from Australia about smoking.
Yes, that was so good.
Cigarette butts.
Phyllis, about.
Yeah, she got a bottle, and she had a friend that smoked. So she said, I need 20 cigarette butts. And so she put them in the bottle, in the jar. And she said, there's a study that's just come out from Australia that the toxics, is it the toxics in your cleaners, Linda?
Yes.
Are as bad as smoking a pack of cigarettes, 3 packs of cigarettes a day for 20 years or something. I mean, the damage is unbelievable. I need to find that story, because that's got some powerful information that we can share with others. So when she has that bottle of cigarette butts, you know, that jar sitting on her counter or her display table, that really gets people's attention when you have a little placard there that tells you, because most people know that you don't want to smoke 3 cartons of cigarettes a day. So that's pretty demonstrative. I really liked all those ideas, because if you have a booth and you just have your products sitting there and you're standing there with your teeth hanging out, you know, it's not very interactive. But when you have some of these things that people can see and do and touch and read about, I think that gets people's attention and they get more interested in something like that. So I like that. I like that very much. Thank you, Linda, for reminding me about that, because I forgot to write that one down.
Phyllis, I don't know if Connie remembers, but I think she used to do some kind of a little game with the products, you know, on the market written on the back. And wasn't it, Connie? Are you still there?
Yeah, I have that still. It's like a card game, and you pass out these cards. I think whoever was describing that was describing the game that I have. Yeah, because it shows the picture of the cleaner on front, like 409 or whatever, and on the back it tells you exactly what the harmful things in it are, you know?
Yeah. Now, is that something that you can order online, or is it from Shaklee, or does anybody know how to get hold of that?
I'm pretty sure I got that from Front Runners, and I don't know if they're still available or not.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'll check on that too. Okay, that's great.
It's been a long time ago that I got it.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, that's great. Well, thanks, guys. Before we go any further, and I forget, on Saturday, May the 5th, I've sent you invitations, and I've talked to some of you about the meeting we're going to have in the Fort Worth area. And I am really hoping that some of you will be able to join us, and also that you will be able to bring any new business builders or customers that have shown a little bit of interest or that you think might be interested. This is going to be a really cool meeting. We've got lots of good things planned. Becky's son, Stephen, is going to make barbecue lunch for us, and it's just going to be fun. James is going to be there, so you know it'll be a great time. We'll learn a lot, and I want to encourage you to let me know if you're coming so we can be sure we've got everything in place for everybody that can attend. I've already talked to some of you about sharing stories at that time, so I'll be looking forward to getting that back with you so we can get you into the schedule at exactly the right time. We want to hear from you. The products and the business we've got lots of stories, and it's okay to share them from the computer, but I think in person it's great to hear how it's made a difference in people's lives. So we're looking forward to that, and I really encourage you to make every effort to come. And if you can't come, if you've got somebody in the area that you want to invite, let me know. I'll be glad to call them, or we'll try to work with you to help them to be able to feel welcome at the meeting. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the challenge for this week. And I have been hearing some really good things from Melanie. I have a suspicion that she's going to be our winner. But Melanie, would you share with us? We asked you to try to talk to 5 people, sponsor 2 people, and schedule a meeting. You didn't have to have it already, but to have it scheduled. So Melanie, tell us what all you've been doing. I've been eager to hear about what's going on.
Well, nothing has really materialized as yet, but I have talked to a bunch of people. I contacted a guy that we went to school with, and I found out, I was checking on him, and I found out that he had even some more problems. And so I told him about what I did, and I'd like to get together with him for, some healthy information, and not healthy, but natural healing. And so he said this week might be better than last week. So he knows us both. So I said, we'll come and visit and we can talk. So
Great.
Another guy I contacted said no, the one I had told y'all about from church that I was going to reach out to. But he finally said no, he wasn't interested. But they may stop by and visit with us one day because, they're in our little group from church. So
oh, good. Okay.
You never know what'll happen with that. And I have one who's still, actually 2 people who are still trying to become members, and different things have happened, and they haven't gotten their letter into Shaklee yet because they were in other groups. So I got back with them. I got back with a couple in New Orleans that we had kind of talked a little bit about the business when they first started. And of course, they said none of their friends were interested. So I haven't heard back yet from them. And one of my friends just signed up as a member, and she's going to come over one day. Hopefully this week we can work it out between our 2 schedules. And I'm going to go over showing her more about the household products and all, since she became a member and she purchased just 1 product so far. And then I have a couple that were, one of them that bought the youth. And I got with them this morning, got with him on the phone this morning, and I'm sending them the information, and he's interested in something for the neck for himself, believe it or not, because evidently he was in the service in Vietnam, and they had to do some corrective surgery. I guess he must have got shot or something, and it was on his neck, and so the one side that they operated on is hanging further down than the other one. I don't think he's my age, but he's probably close, probably in his 60s. And so I'm sending him, I had some samples left with the information from the Shaklee website, so I'm sending him that. And then I have a couple of other people that I have not heard back from that I left messages. One guy who has always bought nothing. He's probably been with me 36 years, and he's never bought anything but multivitamin.
Wow.
So I'm going to talk with him. If I don't hear back right away, he may have changed his number. He's one of my friends on Facebook, so I'm going to message him.
Oh, yeah.
If I can talk. Now, he lives in New Orleans, but, we can get on the phone together and talk. So, and then the last thing I'm doing is I ordered those Shaklee Difference booklets, which are great. Yes. And I'm sending those out, especially to people that I haven't either met yet, but they're customers. And I'm sending them some samples that I had already, Joint Health and Basic H. And I do the Basic H brochure and the Joint Health info that I have in my computer, and tells all about the Joint Health cream. And I sent them that, and I'm sending them my new business cards, which have my picture on it, so they'll have a face.
Oh, very nice.
With, just a name. So I'm working on all of that too. So if nothing else, your contest got me going and moving and doing a lot more things, than I usually, a lot more calls than I usually make.
That's great, Melanie. Now, were you able to work that into the rest of your life, or did you just have to stop everything you were doing to do this?
No, when my husband and his son would be watching ball games and things, I'd come in here and work, and I did a lot on Saturday because I figured people were home, on Saturdays or off of work anyway. And
well, through experience comes confidence. I believe Melanie is going to be more confident doing that with others now.
I think so too. And she's really doing a lot of good things with the follow-up.
Yeah.
I've heard several times different people talking about the follow-up, and then also the planting the seed like Liebert did with this gentleman that's now interested in the business. Now, he talked to him a long time ago, but planting the seeds is really important. We may not see it sprout and grow today, but you plant the seed, you've made a start. So
that's right.
Anybody else have work on the challenge or want to talk about anything like that before we go on?
Well, I went into my favorite shoe store at the outlet mall, and they were going out of business. And so the young guy that always helped me, I said, oh, what are you going to do? And he said that he had applied at another place, and that looked like a really good thing. And so anyway, we visited a little bit, and then I tried on shoes and whatever. When I went to check out, he checked me out, and I pulled out my business card, and I said, no, before I did that, I said, have you thought of having your own business? And he said, oh, I've had a t-shirt business, but my partner got on drugs, and that didn't turn out well, you know? And so, but he said, yes, he said, I've thought of that, of doing something on my own. And so I pulled out my card, and I said, well, I am a member of an awesome company, and it very low risk. And if you would like, I would love, after, you're through here and all, I would love to meet you for a coffee or something and tell you about that. And he thanked me very much. And, I think it was just nice for somebody to care that he was losing his job.
Yeah.
And so anyway, after these shoes are kind of hard to find, and because after teaching and standing for 30 years, I thought, well, I better go back and see if I can maybe get another pair. And so when I went back, he wasn't there, but there was another guy in there. And so I went through the same thing with him. And so I passed out my business card to two prospects, and I know, and there were other people in the store, and so I didn't go into I didn't go, I just handed my card and told them that I would just love a few minutes to share that. So,
well, good for you, Linda. I've seen lots of lists that are the memory joggers to help you think of all the people that you know, but I never have seen business closing as one of the memory joggers, because every time you see that, somebody's losing a job, aren't they?
Yeah, and it makes me think, when I see that in a store, I need to really go in with my hand, shop around a little, check out with a little something, and offer that as a help.
No kidding.
And then I have someone that I had, it was a former student, and we had visited before. I just told him about Shaklee products, but I'd not talked to him about the business. So I sent out just a message to him about that, and he had a favorable response, but he was going to get with his wife about a time. So we don't, have anything set up yet. And then today I had a new member with a turnaround kit.
Very good.
So anyway, it does help to have. I've never been a contest person. I've never been, like challenges have never, I don't know. So how some people, that's just their thing and they can't. And so, but just like Melanie said, just the idea of a goal, it was really a goal And it just made me aware. I don't know that I would have even thought, other than feeling sorry for the guys, I don't know that I would have thought to offer them.
Yeah.
You know what Linda is just, oh, excuse me, what Linda's saying reminds me of another very important thing that I've mentioned before, that where you're in a group, there's people are standing around within earshot while you're talking to somebody else. And you know what? They're prospects.
Yeah.
You're talking to this person that you're talking to, and I've got some really good leads this way. Other people were within earshot, and so while I'm talking to this person, I mention about I never thought I would ever get a free vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can you imagine? Can you imagine going to Hawaii or something? Someone else paying the way. And this, you could say things like it, or talking about, you know, I'm looking forward to my first bonus car that I'm going to be getting. Other people will hear, and I would see them just kind of leaning to hear what I was saying. And then you don't, if it's somebody you'll see later, like some of these people were, you know, I would see them later. I just acted like, you know, I wasn't even talking to them, you know. Then later on, I get by them somewhere, we start talking, and guess what? That subject could come up about free vacation.
Yep.
So you got somebody there that's really interested in knowing what that's all about. So now they're in a position where they're wanting to hear from you. You're not trying to give them something.
Yeah.
They're wanting to get, and you just, you know what? You just might let them in on it.
Yeah, that's good, Lieber. Well, you put out the little crumbs that caught their attention, and that's
it.
That's really good. But that doesn't happen if we don't open our mouths, does it?
You know, the greatest basic H story, going right back to that just quickly, the greatest basic H story, that I've ever heard, was about that basic H bottle rolling around in the back seat of Carolyn Kraft's car. Y'all know the story?
No.
I won't tell the whole thing. Her name is now Carolyn Sparger. But somebody, talking about something that takes a while, somebody got Carolyn Sparger to try some basic H. This round bottles, she put the round blue bottle on her seat at the back seat of the car. She's busy. I think she's a mother of about 3 or 4, busy as could be. And on her way back and forth driving, that thing fell off the seat and it rolled around in the back seat against the back of the front seat. And she said, I got to get that thing out of there one of these days, you know. But it went on and on and on. Finally, she was doing some cleaning and was running out of cleaners. And she says, wait a minute, this is my chance to take that blue stuff and use it. And it sold her so much on it that she became, she earned her car with basic H before she'd even known she had earned a car.
That's really impressive. That is very impressive.
But you
story.
see, that is that bottle. So think about how would you like to have been the person that got her to put that bottle, a basic H, in the back of her car.
Boy,
Yeah,
no
she's
kidding.
a master now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The very top of the thing. And there's masters under that she's brought into the business.
I'm sure.
So you never know. You know, that next thing you're doing, that might be the very one.
That's right.
Phyllis, I have to leave, but I did want to say another thing that your little contest brought up. I got to thinking about the preferred members.
Yeah.
And I said, why am I trying to do all this, working myself to death? I'm going to get other people doing it. So I offered $25 to 3 different people that I thought might be interested, one being, 2 actually being my 2 new distributors, that if they sponsored someone with $150 order on auto ship, I said, that's Shaklee's offer. I said, but my offer is you'll earn $25 check from me if you sponsor somebody. And I said, they can order as much as they want or as little as they want and still become a member under you. I said, but if they have a $150 order on auto ship, you get a $25 check from me. So we'll see what that brings about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great incentive.
I did that to these.
Great call, but I got to run.
Okay.
This guy that I was just talking to, I showed him that deal where you get 3 members in a rolling month that give you an extra $25. So that's just extra you're going to make from what they buy and all that. And by the way, on those other 3, I'm going to match whatever Shaklee does there. I mean, I've spent a bunch of money on advertising, folks.
Yeah.
You spend money on that stuff and it never brings you anything. So my advertising is going right to the person.
Yes.
And it's working. It's working.
Yep. Linda's done some of that too, and it does work. People are, that's an incentive to help them make the final step to do whatever it is that you're hoping they'll do. So,
well, this person says, hey, this person's willing to give me $50 or something like that. Well, you know, that guy must be doing pretty good if he can give me $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I had told y'all that I'd talk to y'all about Zoom today, and we've gotten so many other interesting things going on that we haven't gotten there. If you'll give me just 1 second, I want to share one screen with you, and then we'll hang up. Let me see if I can get this to go. I just brought up this screen that shows if you go to zoom.us, at the top you've got 3 things: solutions, plans, and pricing, and contact sales. And this is the one that I thought that you might like to start with. It's where I started. The basic personal meeting that's free. Free is always good, right? And it shows you what you can get. And when Liebert was talking to his friend, if he had this, then he could have had his screen open so that the person could have looked at it also. But anyway, it's free. And then I said, well, I was wondering, I know that there's some help videos, so I just wanted to show you. If you click on help over here, I typed in, you can have a live chat, but I typed in, how do I get started? And so I did that and clicked on the search, and it came up with a lot of different things. Oh, let's see, move this up. And so I clicked on, how do I schedule meetings? And I just wanted you to know that it's a very short little video, but it's very helpful. It comes up, and you click on that, and you can make it full screen. I didn't click on the sound, guys. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. But it comes up, and it shows you very quickly and easily.
Great. Great. Zoom.us?
Yes, okay.
/meetings.
Okay, I'm going to stop that because I didn't put the sound on. It's loud too. But they have a lot of videos that can help you. Plus, I'd be glad to help you because I've been doing this for a while now. It's very simple. And if you've got some business builders and they all live in the same place, or like when Melanie was talking about this guy in New Orleans, she could talk with him and wouldn't have to go to New Orleans. So I just wanted y'all to know this is really a great thing. And if you have questions or you want some help, I'm very happy to help because people help me get started, and so I'm glad to help you too.
That's great, Phyllis.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're overtime, so I'm going to hang up. Does anybody have anything pressing that they want to say?
Just one thing, Phyllis. I was going to share what I did this week, but I won't share all of that. I just will tell you that I did talk with my daughter-in-law, and she is coming with me to the meeting on the 5th. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, Connie, that's great. What is her name?
Melina Hudgens.
Melina. Okay, that's a pretty name. Okay, great. That is wonderful, Connie. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That's great. And I want to.
She's very excited about, looking forward to it. She uses, they use some of the products. That's our youngest son's wife.
Okay.
And it just so happens that the guys have a fishing trip that weekend. And I said, you know what? I think I will just plan to go and see if she'll go with me. And she is very excited about going. So.
Oh, that is so cool, Connie. That is great. Well, congratulations to you. I'm glad she's coming. And so also congratulations, Linda and Melanie, for your good work with the challenge. And I think I'd like to open that up again for another week because this is how we grow. If we're doing stuff, then things happen. So I'll open it up again, and we'll be talking to you next week. Thank y'all so very much.
Thanks, fellas.
I've enjoyed it. Bye-bye.